All right, welcome back to the Oregon Trail, G-Dub-Dub. We are on the road to destiny. Chapter 7. Ooh, let's go back to the end of Chapter 6 was pretty sad. Remember that the Westons have lost their son Charlie. He has died on the trail. And they've also lost 8 other members. It was a very difficult journey. And sickness was easy to find, especially in dirty water. Chapter 7. Among the Pawnee. One morning, a week later, one of the pilots brought us good news. Pawnee up ahead, Colonel, and they're in a trading mood. I had seen a black man before, and even a Chinaman, but these were the first American Indians I'd ever laid eyes on. Betalasharu, it is an honor to visit with you. Greetings, Colonel. We have fresh fish, fruit, and vegetables, and our women have made beautiful garments. We wish to trade for firearms if your people are willing. I got an extra shotgun. You got any of that salmon? They were a peaceful and kind people. The Pawnee offered us fresh food, the likes of which we had not seen since our journey began. Their clothes and fabrics were also beautiful. All of us found something to trade. I met a Pawnee girl who was my age. To my surprise, she replied in English, "My name is Parus." Parus? Parus, like the rabbit. I am fast on my feet. That night we camped with the Pawnee. We feasted, danced, and sang together. A good time was had by all. Parus told me many things of the Pawnee way of life. Pawnee life. Let's check it out here. History and culture of the Great Plains tribe. The Pawnees settled in the Great Plains of America in or around 1200 AD. That's about 800 years ago. One tribe, 4 names. The Pawnee eventually formed 4 groups: the Chouai, the Tapaj, the Kitnahahaki, and the Sweedy. The Pawnees' first name for their tribe was Chahikashaka. I can't say that. Chahiksachaka. This means men of men. Pawnee was a word that described their spiky hairstyles. 2 lives and 2 homes. The Pawnee were a semi-sedentary tribe. Sedentary means you stay in one place. They lived in 2 different places every year. Their permanent homes were called earth lodges. These were dome-shaped buildings of wood and grass. Up to 8 families lived in each lodge. When the Pawnee hunted buffalo in the winter months, they used portable homes made of buffalo hide called teepees. That kind of reminds me of the Plateau people who traveled for their fishing spots or traveled to hunt buffalo or other game. Pawnee artists made comic strip-like paintings and drawings that told the stories of big events such as their buffalo hunts. As I drifted off to sleep, it occurred to me that our family was now more like the Pawnee than like city folk. Like them, we lived off the land. Our home was on a moving wagon. We also traveled fast with few things. But there was much to learn from our new friends. It's just a few trees. They are our trees. We were wakened next morning by a noisy argument. We need this wood to live. But you have so many trees here. Hold on, Mr. McCullough. Our friend here has a good point. This is my 3rd trip through these parts. On the first trip, there were trees aplenty here and more buffalo than I could count. Us travelers have cut down the trees faster than they grow back. Killed their buffalo, too. Now, I ask you, is that fair? Well, since you put it that way, I guess I can make do with them old buffalo chips. The next morning, we resumed our trek. I searched for my new friend to bid her farewell. Parus! Parus! I am sad to see you go, Rebecca. Our time as friends is too short. Perhaps we'll meet again, Parus. Rebecca, hurry, we're moving out. Farewell, Parus. I'll always remember you. You're in my book. Chapter 8. Fantastic and Familiar Sights. We headed to Fort Laramie. All around us were signs of those who had made the trip before us. Some, like our dear Charlie, had not lasted till the journey's end. The landscape held startling sights. First was Courthouse Rock and its cousin Jail Rock. They did indeed look like such buildings. Our party was next amazed by Chimney Rock. None of us had ever seen a thing quite so tall. Wow. Within 2 days' ride of Fort Laramie, we beheld the site of Scott's Bluffs. It looks like a fortress, don't it? We made excellent time the next day. By sunset, we arrived at Fort Laramie. Hurrah! There 'tis! The colonel was great friends with the fort's commanding officer. Ragged and dirty though we were welcomed and given shelter without hesitation or judgment. Colonel James McCarty, so you're a wagoner now? That I am, sir. Stay a few days, rest your oxen, and make yourselves at home. You reckon they'll let us sleep indoors? I forgot what a darn bed even feels like. We slept in cots under a roof. Isn't this grand? Real beds. What a blessing. Try as I might, I could not sleep on the cot. I'd become accustomed to sleeping on the ground outside. That sounds like Maniac McGee always sleeping on the floor. In the morning, we all visited Sutter's store. I bought a new pencil. Others bought medicine, clothes, and other needed things. Shirts are $2, mister. Highway robbery. I'll take it. Citric acid, hallelujah, this'll lick that scurvy. We need some thread. Sweets are a luxury. We moved on. 8 days later, we reached Independence Rock. Many who had made the trip before us carved their names onto its surface. Charles Weston, beloved son. Father carved a tribute to dear Charlie upon it. Mother and I wept. I saw a tear trickle down my father's face. It was as though Charlie did make the trip with us. We now became old friends with the Sweetwater River. We used the winding stream as a compass. We came upon another wonder of nature called Devil's Gate. It held the threat of falling rocks, instant death for the unlucky. Ain't that a good shortcut? It's a good way to end your life quicker. That night at camp, our leader told us what lay ahead. You haven't seen hard traveling yet, ladies and gentlemen. You'll feel cold and heat like you never knew before. You will suffer and ache. But we gotta keep going. We must make it to the end of the trip. I was sure he was right. We were in good hands. I hoped we would all survive. And that is the end of chapter 8.